What is going on, YouTube? My name is Aaron Abels. Thank you so very much for tuning in to another video. Today is going to be a little bit different. Being new to vlogging, it can be a little bit intimidating or nerve-wracking to film yourself out in public, and I wanted to build that confidence. A lot of people can stare. A lot of old people give you the, "What you doing over there? Who you talking to?" That's my impression of an old person. Apologize. So let's go ahead and get to today's video. Alright guys, so today we're going to be discussing what it was like for me at 6 months of sobriety. I'm at my local hiking trail and it is an absolute beautiful day. I'm going to go ahead and meet you all at the top or at the peak of this trail. But in the meantime, go ahead and enjoy this little clip. Alright guys, so the hard part is over. I made it to the peak of the hike. I didn't want you guys to see that. It was absolutely disgusting. But go ahead and check out this view. Beautiful. Alright guys, so it's all downhill from here. That's what I said when I turned 18 as well. So back to the discussion at hand. What it was like at 6 months of sobriety. So pretty much getting to 6 months, I was kind of chasing chips at this point. And for those of you who don't know, you receive a sobriety chip for each of your achievements. It typically goes newcomer, 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, 6 months, and 9 months. And ultimately, till you get your year. So at this point, I was so excited to get to my 6 month chip. And I remember it like it was yesterday. There was a guy who had started AA at the same time that I had. And I remember he stood up before me to accept his 6 month sobriety chip, and everybody got up, clapping, cheering, and I kind of felt like he stole my thunder. I got a little jealous, and I had to quickly shake that off because I had to remind myself that everybody is in the same boat. Everybody is there for the same reasons, staying sober. And that brings me to telling you guys that just because this video is titled 6 months of sobriety, please do not let that discourage you from any amount of sobriety that you have. My sobriety is no better than yours. I have to take it one day at a time. And that's the ultimate goal. One day at a time. Whew. So, the glasses, they do really help with vlogging out in public. I feel like that little boy from Riverdale, Julian, he'd throw on the sunglasses and he disappeared. Okay guys, so also at 6 months is when I got a little annoying and pretty preachy with my closest friends and family. I used to project myself onto them, and what I mean by that is I would emphasize and I would boast that sobriety is amazing. You guys need to get your act together. Please, I want to try to save your life. Blah, blah, blah. And I realized that I actually had to go at this alone. I kind of wanted somebody to understand what I was going through, but I had to understand that this was something I had to do on my own. It was something that I caused on my own, and I needed to fix it by myself. And also, it takes the person willing to admit that they have a problem in order to start changing. And you can't really force it upon anybody, but I hope that these videos can maybe shed some light on any problems that you currently have, and maybe give you a perspective of there is hope and there is people like you who suffer through a disease, suffer through an addiction, and there is absolute help. And forgive me if I'm speaking a little bit funny. I have these damn rubber bands in my mouth and they're absolutely annoying. So pretty much at 6 months is when mine and Elizabeth's relationship was getting a little bit better. Mind you, she was very sensitive at this time with all of the years I had caused misery and hell. But she was starting to see that I was making a change and I was slowly becoming the person I used to be. And I can't stress this enough. Once you have a certain period of time of sobriety, you get your youth back. And what I mean by that is, when I was a teenager or a young teenager, I never really worried or obsessed about drinking. I wanted to have fun. I wanted to be out with my friends. I wanted to go to the movie theaters. I wanted to go to the skate park. I wanted to go play baseball. I wanted to be active. And as soon as I got my sobriety back, it gave me my life back, and I was able to do all of those things I enjoy to do. And hence, this is why I'm over here enjoying a nice hike on a beautiful day. All right guys, so I kind of want to discuss some of the coping methods that I used in order to stay sober when things got tough. Absolutely, AA really helped me out. Church absolutely helped me out. And strangely enough, because my drink of choice was beer, I got very addicted to sparkling waters. And the good thing about sparkling waters, you can absolutely drink as many as you'd like. They may mess up your teeth a little bit, but hence these bad boys. That's the price that you pay for wanting to have a $1 million smile. I never really knew how much I enjoyed taking hikes. And when I was little, people used to tell me all the time, hey kid, why don't you go ahead and take a hike? I never really knew what they meant until now. So I know that I touched on my last sobriety video that at 3 months of sobriety, it gives you a better perspective, or you start to get those sober eyes. And I still stand by that. At 6 months of sobriety is when you start seeing things a lot more clearer. And at least for me, it was when I realized that this was actually achievable. This was actually possible. And my life was slowly starting to change more and more. And I was realizing it. Some of my closest friends and family was realizing that my attitude had changed. My perspective on life was starting to change. And I knew that I was at my halfway mark, because for me, and I'll explain in another video, my main goal was getting to my 1 year, because I knew that if I got to my 1 year, that would be it for me. And when it came to my children, this was one of the most difficult parts, because when you grow up knowing how somebody acts, especially if it's your parent or guardian, it could be very difficult to accept change, even if it's a positive way. What I mean by that is my children were so used to the way I behaved drunk, how I was with alcohol, my abuse, my disease. So fortunately for my daughter, she was a little too young to understand what was really going on, but unfortunately for my older boys, they were kind of hesitant, and they were kind of, you know, timid to accepting my changes. And I completely understood that, and it was a very hard pill to swallow, but I had to do whatever I could to show them that I was a changed person and that I had a disease, and I had to explain to them that this type of substance abuse or alcohol abuse or even drug abuse, it's a hereditary and it runs in the family, so you have to be aware of that. You know, unfortunately, my father, who was also an alcoholic, he had been sober over 40 years. He never really explained to my siblings or I that alcoholism runs in your family. He was pretty much old school, and what I mean by that is he wanted you to experience it for yourself. He wanted you to understand. He knew that he could probably give you all the advice that you wanted to hear, but ultimately you're gonna make your own decisions. And he was the type of person that if you wanted to talk to him or you needed him, he was open arms, open ears, and you could come to him with anything, but you had to come to him. And I respect that. But knowing that from my perspective, I needed to explain to my children that this was very real. And as they get older, I keep reminding them, especially since they're getting into teenage years, and it can be very difficult times, especially with the influence of friends. So I want to make sure that they're prepared, and I don't want to try to belittle them, and I don't want them to feel scared or ashamed to come to me or Elizabeth. That's what we're here for, you know. I try to explain to them little by little of all the past mistakes that I've made. I don't want to give them too much information until they're old enough to understand completely, but that's where I stand. And when it comes to Ariana, I mean, I'm absolutely head over heels for her, and she is my blessing, and I love her absolutely to death, and she's daddy's little girl, and I'm gonna absolutely take care of her and make her understand as well, and make her into a strong, independent woman. So with all that being said, my children, my wife Elizabeth, are absolutely motivation and what I needed to succeed and push forward after 6 months. Not only was I doing it for myself, but I had to do it for them as well, because they deserve a better life and they deserve a better father, and Elizabeth deserved a way better husband, and being sober gave me that fighting chance. Hello. Sometimes you just gotta hit them with the Drake smile. Alright guys, so this confident building exercise, as little as it was, I do feel that it helped a little. I felt comfortable speaking with y'all out in public. I know there wasn't that many hikers, but I just want to work on it little by little, keep pushing myself so that way I can make better content, be a better creator, and have a lot more confidence. So I'm at the end of my hike. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It's probably the shortest hike you ever took, so you're welcome. I want to wrap it up by always saying, you know, if you feel that you have any type of substance abuse or any type of addiction problem, there's absolute help for you. Do not take my word for it. Go attend a meeting. Go check it out for yourself. You will be welcomed with open arms. You know, reach out to me. I want to hear from you all. I say it all the time. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I'm going to revolve this channel around you all. And as always, I will see you soon. Be safe, take care, and God bless.